Good morning and welcome to What's New with Mike and Jeff, your Saturday morning hobby live stream, hobby hangout coming to you live via the interwebs. Hey, Jeff overslept and he is in the process of getting ready. And I was sitting here twiddling my thumbs and I was like, wait a minute, we've fixed our cameras and we can now stream. Good morning, Bethany. I can now just switch over my camera and start painting. And when Jeff joins us, then we can kind of kick into the show and start doing all the fun stuff that we normally do. But yeah, so I don't really, good morning, Joe. I don't really have anything to chat about right now. I had some stuff like Jeff and I have stuff we're going to chat about, but kind of go over last weekend's hobbython and everything that people posted up on the Discord channel. But I think I'm just gonna switch cameras and I got a model that was 3D printed for me from a fellow YouTuber, and I'm just gonna start slapping down some paint on this and get into it. So let me switch my cameras, and then when Jeff shows up, we'll just have him join us and take it from there. Oops, let me go the other way. So this particular miniature is for a role-playing game. Good morning, Heron. How are you? This is for a role-playing game called Dragonbane. And Dragonbane is the D&D equivalent in Sweden. Came out in the 80s because back in the day, which was Tuesday, according to Jeff, publication... Pretty good, thanks. Oh, it is. It's a wolfkin. It's a wolfkin is what they're called in Dragonbane. But back in the day, distribution wasn't what it is today. It was hard for products that were made in America to get into other countries because of whatever reason. Laws, boats, transportation, who knows? But anyways. But D&D was popular, and in Sweden, some authors created a game called Dragonbane, which is a D20 system, all that good stuff. It kind of introduces some new races that weren't in D&D at the time. There's mallards, which you can play duck people, which is kind of funny. I don't like the concept of playing duck people, but I do like wolfkin. So anyways, part of their Kickstarter. So they've recently released it into the United States. It's through Free League Publishing. The art is off the chart. If you, even if you just take a look at some of the free preview material and just take a look at the art, it's a very cool style of art. Free League makes phenomenal books, all that good stuff. So anyways, one of the things they recently released were STL files for all the characters, all the art for the characters that were in the RPG. A fellow YouTuber that I like, and we kind of came up with a plan. I made him a custom Dragonbane dice tray. He printed me up a bunch of custom characters for RPGs. So anyways, that's how it all came to be. I will say, though, his resin that he used is a bit on the fragile side. I've already broken the hand in this spear twice. So I need to be careful with that, simply because whatever resin he is using is just very brittle. And that's one of the downsides to a lot of the different resin on the market. Some people do use different resin, has a little bit more give to it, a little bit more of like a plastic property to it. His is just brittle, so I got to be very careful with them. These are much larger than, these are probably more in scale with Warhammer Fantasy or something like that. They're like 32 mil or something like that. So real quickly, because we've been monitoring some issues. Oh, Jeff is here with us. Let me switch back over. Good morning, Jeff. Oh, he kicked me out.
Keep doing what you're doing. I'm finishing up some last minute stuff because I'm just running massively late.
That's all right. I was just kind of sitting around when I was waiting for him. Like, wait a minute, I could just switch cameras and just start painting.
Yeah, you could. And I saw you all doing that, so I'm finishing it. I did not get the pictures finished from Discord.
Okay.
So I'm finishing that up. Won't take me more than a couple minutes, and I'll be right back.
Well, can you do me a real quick favor?
I can do anything for you, buddy.
How is my view coming through? Because those stupid little bar things pop back up on my screen.
It's a little fuzzy.
Is it? Okay. Then don't go full screen, because if it's a little fuzzy, I don't want it to be, unless you just don't want people to see you.
No, I'm just going to switch cameras so they can stare at my top of my table while I do this.
Okay. Yeah, because I restarted my computer twice, thinking that I could, like, if I restarted it, but apparently whatever the StreamYard is doing, it's trying to connect via Wi-Fi. And I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. I will. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just, that's what's going on. I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
Let me jump in and take care of that. I will explain to everybody about my health and the fact that I'm actually dead and I'm a ghost.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to hear that story.
When I get back, so it won't be long. Just give me a second.
Right. You were clear when the show started. Yeah, Joe, that's kind of what I noticed. The something's going on with either my computer or StreamYard. And what Jeff and I have been able to conclude is StreamYard is trying to hook up to my Wi-Fi versus my hardline cable. I actually have my Wi-Fi turned off because in my hobby room where I paint, my Wi-Fi signal's really weak. Simply because, you know, how my router's set up and everything like that. So I might end up ultimately having to I can't put the router in my hobby room because it's all hardwired for the whole house. So I don't know what I'm going to do. One of our friends, Greg, has offered to work with me to try to figure out a process. We wanted to give it a few more tries before we made any hard decisions on what we're going to do. But it is a point of frustration for me and for our viewers, because here at the What's New with Mike and Jeff show, we try to bring you nothing but the best quality that our budget allows, which is not much. And since Jeff's going to be talking about his health, I figured why not tell you guys about my health. I went to the doctors for my follow-up on my wrist, and I have been subject to another month of light duty. It was a very interesting experience talking to the doctor, because he thought I had a medical degree and I could make the decision if I should go back to full duty or not, which I was kind of taken back by, because I'm not a doctor. Last time I checked, I played one once, but I'm not actually a doctor. So after I was like, well, if you put me back to full duty, my job has no support mechanism built in for what I do and when I do it. Like, I'm going to go right back to wrestling a 100-pound dog as if you put me back to full duty. So if you feel I'm ready to do that, then by all means, put me back to work. If you don't feel I'm ready to do that, then you need to figure out what I need to do. I don't like my doctor that's overseeing this injury, this workman's comp doctor. But according to Andy, she says all orthopedic surgeons are this way. They're just arrogant. So I don't know. I don't know orthopedic surgeons. So with this model, one of the I do like using contrast paint, and I really think contrast paint was totally misrepresented by GW. I understand why they did what they did and what they created the product for, but I really think contrast paint has a great place in the market, especially for getting some base colors down so you can kind of get an idea of the direction you're going with your miniature. So you can actually look at it and go, oh, these colors work, because it goes on really thin. And if you do zenithal highlighting, it really, I am off camera dramatically. Let's do this. If you zenithal highlight, you really get some great color tones in your miniature, because it really responds great with the zenithal highlighting. Zenithal highlighting is one of those things I never really understood at first when it first became popular in the gaming space, which I'm sure it's always been popular. It's just someone famous probably used it and talked about it, and then all of a sudden it became the latest and greatest trend in the hobby. I never really understood it at first. It was just one of those things I couldn't really grasp because of the way I paint. I put on a lot of thick coats, and zenithal highlighting is really emphasized when you use thin coats. Oh, hey, Aaron, what is that? They do sell Ethernet cables at greater lengths, perhaps hardwiring to your machine. It is, my machine is hardwired. It actually, my house is wired for all the rooms, and it is an older house, so that my wiring could need to be updated. I don't really want to do that quite yet. And it could also be one of those things, maybe I just need to plug into my router every time and use a newer cable. Like there could also be a break in my cable. There could be a lot of things. But I might have to just run a cable that's exposed, and then at the end of the show, just roll it up and put it away. We're gonna toy around with it. I just don't understand why StreamYard wants to connect to my Wi-Fi. That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. And it could be my computer's trying to do it, because Jeff doesn't have that issue. Jeff, you're hardwired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeff doesn't seem to have that issue.
Yep. And I can tell you right now, it's not your wiring.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that. It's probably just my internet, but there are things I still want to explore.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I thought we had it last weekend, because it was like, oh, I just need to restart my StreamYard and it seems to go away, but no, it came right back.
Well, that's why I'm fairly convinced, as is a couple other people, that it's something actually probably quite simple.
Oh God, yeah. You and I both know it's something like, Mike, you need to press this button here. And that's why people like Greg get paid a lot of money.
The other thing is it's connecting to your Wi-Fi, because that's got to be a setting on your computer.
Yeah.
Something on the computer is telling you to do that, because I know StreamYard also doesn't have that functionality. StreamYard doesn't do anything like that at all. So it's something along those lines. But like I said, we'll figure it out and we'll go from there. And
yeah, because it keeps telling me, your connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try unplugging your router and moving it closer to it. It's like, I'm not on Wi-Fi.
I think the probably your biggest problem is simply it's either your modem, something along those lines, or it's something else. But
yeah, well, I just don't want to run out and replace modems.
No, that's why we'll exhaust all those other options first.
Yeah.
So
I think first I'd like to talk to Greg and see if it's like a settings thing or something.
Yeah, Greg is more than willing to help us out. He reached out last week during the show. He's more than willing to help out. So you and I'll discuss that after the show today.
Yeah, because this is not going to work. All right, have a little bit of contrast down. Hey, Don, how are you? You guys are painting, but I don't see the screen moving. There it goes. Yeah, I paint very still. Actually, Jeff and I were in the middle of a conversation, so we were both sitting still.
And I'm not doing anything at all. I'm here. You can see my hands. But I'm doing, because I've been sick, I'm running behind on everything. So I'm trying to do that while we're live, which is just so our show. So
Don's asking how old my modem is. I have a Nighthawk modem. It's probably 5 years old.
Just to make it simple, Don, we found some notes from the founding fathers, Jefferson. Guys had made notes, and we're doing things on it. It's a fairly old system.
Something about writing a document of some sort.
Something like that. Something like something or other. I don't know what it is.
But then I don't know how old my modem is. So I have a modem for Cox coming into the house. So there's their modem. And then I have everything going from their modem into my router. That's the difference. I replace my modem every 2 to 3 years. Really?
Most people do. That's not an unheard of statement. I've heard that before.
Yeah, I'm super cheap. I'm like, if it's working, why should I replace it? But obviously, it's not working. So.
Oh, there's working. And then there's
like my modem works just fine.
My faucet works in my bathroom, and it gets water in the sink, but also on the mirror, on the vanity, and on the floor to the side.
But is it working?
It's working. Water still flows through it.
My modem is like 10 years old. Oh yeah. And I guess my router is probably fine. So he's probably saying it's my modem, which again, that would be, I have to call Cox, find out from Cox, because I've called Cox and they said they ran a signal through and they said it's downloading and doing like that. It says it's doing everything it's supposed to be doing, but obviously something's not working. You know, your modem is old when the instructions are. Yes, that's probably how old my modem is. Everyone's gonna go.
I'm not reading the comments, but I can imagine.
So yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, if I replace the modem on the Cox end, I have to call Cox because they have to have all the serial numbers and all the other BS that goes with it, so they can write it in. Because I think I own my modem. If you're looking for a cheap possible fix, replace the cable between the modem and the router. Those can have problems.
Oh. I know a guy who's a little heavy set that may have said that last week. I'm not 100% positive.
Trying to figure out who that guy is.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. He shows up late and he's always running behind. But he's a good guy at heart.
Yeah. Well, last weekend wasn't the weekend for me to go out doing stuff. This weekend, we're going to go out. So I might, sorry, I wasn't here last week. No, it's all good. That is true. We'll take 5 minutes. Yeah. And
who's apologizing for not being here last week?
Yes, he's apologizing for not being here.
Who?
Don. Sorry.
Yeah, Don, why weren't you here, man?
Yeah, we streamed like 6 times last week. Where were you?
And it was literally the whole show was dedicated to Don. We had a big thing about it.
Yeah, we showed all your photos.
Ever done. Even ones you didn't know you painted.
We had cake.
We did. We had cake. It was a big party.
It was a big old party.
And you missed the whole damn thing.
The whole damn thing. Yeah, so we're going out and about today. So I'm going to swing by like a Best Buy or something and look at some stuff. You haven't watched since December. I thought, well, that's not too long ago, Don.
He abandoned us.
Yeah, well, he's probably busy. You know, he does.
Yeah, he's got a life and stuff. I get that.
Like,
maybe that's why I'm so angry. I'm a little jealous.
There you
a little jelly. I have an existence.
So yeah, I'll probably look at replacing the cable but at least we've been going through the elimination process.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, first we thought it was the USB port or the USB connection I was using for my cameras, but we eliminated that. So next step, cables.
Yeah, we thought we had it last week. That's one of the reasons why I'm fairly certain it's simple, because we had it fixed.
Yeah.
And then literally for no real explanation, it kind of went wonky on us. And I just think it's a combination of a couple things.
Yeah.
Between Don and Greg and all the other people that we can turn to and ask questions and inquire, and we'll get it sorted.
We'll make it work.
Get it sorted. So how's everybody been?
Oh, we're back.
I'm back. I even said, "Hey, I'm back."
Well, look where my body's at, and look what I'm doing.
You're painting. I get that. You're really excited to be back to painting on camera.
Let me just finish this one piece. Yeah, I was talking about this model was printed from a fellow YouTuber, and his resin is really fragile, and I broke this model twice so far.
There you go, dude. Well, I am just to give you guys a health update. I have been dealing with a respiratory and a sinus infection since the evening of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I started feeling bad, and then I started feeling well enough that I did the show last week, and then got up later the day on Saturday, and then got up Sunday morning, and I was feverish to the point. You ever had the fever where you're shaking? You've got tons of blankets on, you got the heat cranked up in the house, and you're literally freezing.
Yeah.
And I'm shaking and I'm sweating, and I couldn't breathe. I was having trouble breathing.
Yeah.
And my sinuses are loaded up. I was all tight here, to the point that my daughter suggested that we go to the ER, which I said no, no.
We can mix this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. So I ended up missing my work schedule at Battlefront a second week. But finally got on some antibiotics, which I don't understand why the doctor the first time around didn't give me antibiotics. She gave me something for the cough, something for the congestion, which because of my previous medical history, I can't take any type of over-the-counter decongestant because it spikes your blood pressure.
It will kill you.
It can. It has potential because I have an aortic graft right next to my aortic arch, right next to my left carotid artery, and if my blood pressure gets too high, that can pop.
All right.
Possibly.
Hey, am I coming in foggy again?
Yeah, you are, and you're actually a little you're a little behind too.
All right, I'm gonna leave and come back in.
Fine, go.
Let's try this. Maybe something happened.
Could be.
Let me leave, and I'm gonna come back in. You continue with your story. Don't surprise me when I return. All right.
So anyway, I can't take an over-the-counter decongestant. She gave me the decongestant pill, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. So anyway, long story short, I started taking the antibiotic every 12 hours, got on the all the other meds going. So I actually, yesterday was the first day I could actually get off the couch, or what would be the couch, my recliner, because I couldn't walk, I was lightheaded. So I am doing okay today. The problem is, for some reason, and you look great.
Because I don't have it's not.
Yeah, it's looking great.
And what I'm concerned about is I don't want to restart my computer because I have a feeling if I restart my computer, it's going to want to redo everything.
Well, you're hosting, so it would end the show for today.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
I do, absolutely.
Just in general.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, but see, rebooting, sometimes you may want to log in, not go online yet, log in, see how everything looks. Because now you always look great on your side because your camera's hooked up. But, when we get on, if I'm running on time, log in, see how you're looking, and then jump back out and come back in. There's a lot of things we can do. But I literally think you're going to find out it's your motor. So.
Well, it'll be interesting. Let's see how long this lasts because
I just rent mine from Comcast. I could go out and buy another one, but then I know that I'm going to be on the hook for when they upgrade and everything else. All I do now is when I hear anything from the internet that says, "Hey, we've upgraded service. New modem, please."
Yeah, and I have not updated my modem. Like I said, it's been years, so it's that time. So moving on.
Ironically, as it is, I have a new modem on the way to me now because they've just upgraded to 5G, and I haven't done that yet.
Hey,
everybody.
Hi, Robert.
So anyway, the thing that the doctor actually confirmed this. Actually, both days. I went back to the doctor when I got my antibiotics. Is that something's going around that during the day you feel better, not great, but you feel better, but at night it gets worse. And one of the things I've been dealing with for a long time during all of this, I can't lay flat. And whether I'm laying flat or not at night, I cough the entire night. I sleep in, anywhere from 30 to 45-minute intervals. If I'm really lucky, I'll get a 90-minute stretch. But I think I'm out of most of it. I'm feeling probably the most human I felt in a while yesterday for most of the day. And then today I'm doing all right. But again, I'm still having the night cough. So that's why I overslept this morning. And need anything done yesterday because I start coughing and it's unbearable. It's just driving me nuts. So, cool. So that's where my health's at anyway.
All right. I'm going to answer Heron's question. He asked what my color palette was going to be for the wolf. I'm going for a warm color palette. So there's going to be a lot of red undertones. So I'm going to use browns that have like a red undertone. I'm going to use like just a lot of Ricklin
flesh shade. I'm starting a GoFundMe today for English lessons for my partner.
That's not English.
It is English.
No,
right?
It's
a word.
Ricklin.
It's using the 26 letters of our alphabet, and if you look at it, and a Ricklin flesh shade. It's all just phonetically you can sound it out.
No. Anyways, it's have a lot of red undertones to it, and
it's a flesh shade.
The wolf's gonna actually be gray, but I'm falling in love with this.
What you mean, Louvre? You're falling in Louvre?
No love.
Can you get no words right?
With this bright, warm gray from Pro Acryl, I'm really just digging this color. It's a great highlight. So I'm going to keep them all in the warm tone. So anyways, done with
my... Don's flexing his educational muscle. Yes, I know it's old English, but it's still English. So anyway, we're back. I'm back. I feel better. I'm hopefully going to stay that way for a while.
Yes.
I don't ever want to go through that again. And I never want to be sitting in my chair feeling like I can't breathe.
Yeah, breathing's kind of one of those things we tendency to take advantage of, but we seem to enjoy when we can't do it.
9 out of 10 doctors recommend it.
Only, I wonder what the 10th doctor recommends.
No one listens to him.
He probably took his own advice, and he's no longer around.
Stop breathing. So they're called necromancers.
Yeah. So very cool.
Don, I was only picking on you. Whether you agree with me or not, I'm argumentative. You know that. Morning. Hey, Victor.
Morning, Victor. How are you, buddy? So, yeah. So now that we can paint, life is good. And we had our big painting weekend that Dawn didn't join us for last weekend. And it was dedicated to Dawn and everything that Dawn has brought to our channel and to our lives, and how many great fond memories we had of Dawn. And
I have a lot of fond memories of Dawn.
I just wanted to continue that story.
on and on.
I'm gonna that horse is gonna be beat till it's a skeleton.
That's actually one of the few skills I have is the ability to just beat a dead horse.
Literally.
Literally.
I take those blumps all the time. But it was a good weekend. I felt like I got my tiny epic army painted. So that was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. And yeah, that's where that ended. And you got your stuff painted. I got 4. I got 4 out of the 7 done. Mm-hmm. I think the cold, because I would have to take a nap midday, because at that point in time, even setting up for any length of time, was just difficult. I just couldn't do it. I just started, wheezing, and it just felt horrible. But I got 4 of the 7. I finished my Terminators, which was like my first stage goal. I didn't get as far on my Inceptors as I wanted to get done. But I'll work on those a little bit today. Then I got to get back on commission work. I started on commission work yesterday. I got to get this one commission off my table so I can then 100% try to get this build pay play project done. Well, you would have thought, like, after the weekend, after 3 days of I'm going to say on average painting about 10 hours a day, or working on models for about 10 hours a day, because we'd start at 7, we'd stream, we'd do a little painting, and then off stream we'd go. And I'd take a break midday as well because my eyes would just start fatiguing out from looking at all those little tiny dudes. And it's like I didn't do a lot of detail painting like you did. You did like high end detail painting. I just did like,
I don't know how high end.
you know what I mean.
But I haven't got all the detail done. There's a lot of stuff that I'm waiting on for this army that hasn't arrived yet. Like, for example, all my Terminators have loincloths and capes.
They're super
they're all like wolf pelts and stuff that actually attach to the new Terminators. They haven't arrived yet, so eventually I'll add those. I don't know how soon. Right now, my goal is just to get the actual base army done. Like, for example, I wanted to add these guys. These are Outriders that are very cool, and when we're painting, I'll show you these on camera. But you've heard me many times talk about Grey Tide, which does resin casting stuff, 3D printed stuff, and they made a Space Wolf accessory set for the Outriders that look really cool. I'll show these.
Are those the new bikes, by the way?
These are the new Outrider bikes, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
They have these new, and I got another Dreadnought conversion kit because I'm actually going to be doing. I'm tired of Bjorn being on the table with these gigantic Redemptors and everything else. Bjorn looking like one of the robots from Silent Running. He's so tiny now. And that was one of my favorite models. Still is one of my favorite models.
But but it's small now.
He's in my case right now. I actually went out and bought a plastic rise to put him on because you lose him because I've got 3 other Redemptors in there, and then I got these 2 little guys. And I'm like, no, that's just wrong.
Ah, that's hilarious.
I'm getting ready to do a Bjorn conversion, and that's going to look pretty cool. But I don't know how long it's going to take. I am going to get that one done. That one's going to get done.
But I found it interesting in me because after we got done with that, I had like the next day I jumped right back into my commission work and spent another 10 hours at my desk painting commission work.
Well, you saw me on our last show on Sunday. I'm like, and then when we went off camera, yeah, dude, I'm tired. I got to go. Pink.
We were both done, dude. It was like
usually we sit and chat for like 5-10 minutes afterwards. And I'm just like, no, I'm done. I gotta go. And then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah. So, but the next day, right back up. I got to get this commission done. My goal in my head is to have almost 90% of it done by the end of the month, which is next Friday.
Yeah. Well,
next Thursday.
Yeah, I'm up for what I've got done. I get done. I need to have it done by next weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'll work it out one way or the other. And Joe, I am not trying to steal your shtick, buddy. You can have this breathing issue thing all you want. I want nothing to do with it.
I think he was talking about giving me crap about my reading.
Is that it? Okay, because I thought it was. Well, he made the statement that he knows how I feel, and I thought he was talking about breathing because I know Joe has some respiratory issues on occasion.
Yeah, I think you.
So, either one, I will stop the breathing issues. I'm not going to stop making fun. That's Mike and I thing. It's always been that
way. And it will always be. I have to give you that low-hanging fruit every once in a while. Because you're not feeling well. So
yeah, that's what causes it.
So
you ready to get some painting done?
Did you want to look at photos? Like, I think we have a few.
Oh yeah, I do. I just got them done.
I think that's what you spent the morning doing.
And that's what I spent the first part of the show doing. I woke up late this morning and just trying. And then I'm also in a small global conflict right now. That once again, my cat and I are at war.
Really?
Yeah, for dominance of the apartment.
Where's his territory?
Everywhere.
And where's
I've managed to secure a stronghold in this room.
Okay. Are you like locked in? Like is he standing guard at the door?
He could be. He absolutely could be.
Oh, he was talking about your health. So
yeah, see, it's not always about you, Mike.
I know. Go figure.
Yeah, well, I'm just as bad. No, he's just decided that I've always known that I'm his person. He's not my cat.
Right.
That's just how cats are. But he's just decided that he wants to run the apartment. So like when I sleep at night, I sometimes will like you that nervous thing with your leg. You'll do this, your leg
twitching or whatever.
Twitching that he will attack whatever's going on. Last night he leapt on me for no apparent reason. He and I just and then if I'm not up at 6 to feed him, he is the loudest, most obnoxious animal on the planet.
You should record it one day so that we can play. It could be part of our new intro. Your cat screaming to wake people up.
Yeah. I think partly the fact he and I have been locked in this apartment now for 2 weeks, and he's just done.
Doesn't want to around anymore.
Just done.
We rearranged the house just to screw with our cats.
Oh, awesome.
We just moved everything around, like we moved the couches and their where we feed them and their cat trees and all that, just to mess with them.
I have now began threatening, and I have an Echo,
and
I have an Alexa, so they're recording all the time, and I'm sure the guys that do because they monitor it for quality control, that kind of stuff. That's what they say. They're probably wondering what's going on here because the only dialogue they ever get in this apartment is me and my cat.
Bethany's talking about she has 4 of them yelling at her at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh my!
Everyone's heard about my 4 cat story. Cats are supernatural evil beings.
And Don's telling me that the cats will screw with me back. Oh yeah, they will. I'm ready for it. I'm okay with it. It is you just have to do it every once in a while. They're just like super confused that everything's moved. We're getting a new piece of furniture in the living room, so we had to make room. So we moved everything, and it really pissed them off. They're like, "What's going on here?" And then I threw away a bunch of their toys.
Oh,
yeah, they shoot them. They were pretty chewed up. I'm like, you sure? It's like the Linus's blanket or like anything else. Like someone has that old toy that they've dragged around their entire life.
Well, I have started this morning. I have actually opened the door to bringing allies in because this morning I told him if he didn't shut the hell up, I was buying a dog.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And dogs are great. I love them, but they are just stupid loyal. And I'll just like, don't let him near me.
You can just borrow one. Like, get a neighbor's dog.
I always wanted a dog.
But like you could just borrow a little while just to like you're just like allying temporarily with someone until the cat realizes it's defeated, which will never happen.
Well, I tried that with my daughter's dog, Bear, whom I love. He is just phenomenal. He's a fantastic dog.
Is that the German short hair?
Yeah, just tiny little thing.
Okay.
The one I used to post pictures on because he's just awesome. He's terrified of checks.
Well, that's not a good ally.
Yeah. He comes in and he runs around the apartment, and you can literally hear him digging into the carpet because he's constantly this. I mean, he's just full speed all the time. And when he's running around the apartment, kind of just excited to be there, all of a sudden you'll just no matter where he's at in the apartment, you will hear him digging into the carpet, trying to stop and get away from Jax.
Woo,
he'll literally run out into the living room, up into my lap, and then look around the corner of my chair, waiting for this gigantic black beast to come walking out. Yeah. And then Jax will just literally walk out, sit down, and just stare at it. And it's like, will you stop it? You're frightening the dog.
Tormenting this poor soul. All right, let's move on. Let's look at some pictures.
Sure, that I finally got done late. But I did get them done. Ha-ha. Because I'm dedicated. And
I got my Tartanic shirt on today.
I have once again, I'm wearing my War Games live shirt.
Oh, yeah, look at you.
Yeah, War Games live tour. I got to tell you, the live stream is really great to watch or listen to while I'm painting. And Joe, the guy that does it, I mean, does a phenomenal job, but he's just a nice guy.
Picture. Yep. You're talking to old guys that are just chatty, so
they're used to that. We've always been that way. I don't know who sent this in. I'm not sure I recognized her name. We haven't heard from her in a long time.
Well, as soon as we see Green Goblin Bays, it's one of 2 people.
Yeah. The problem is the fingernail polish doesn't help us.
No. At one time, we could have said, well, that's Bethany's because of fingernail polish. But then,
Well, but this is Bethany. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Fantastic. Love it. Very, very nice.
I love Sisters of Battle. I really, it's one of those armies that, man, If I wanted to paint, that would be a fun one to paint.
Well, again, one of the things about watching having the live stream on every day when I'm every weekend when I'm painting, you learn a lot. And Sisters of Battle are tough. They're a tough army.
Yeah.
So look, and this one looks phenomenal, Bethany. Well done.
Fantastic.
Well done.
Goblin green and everything.
Yeah. Awesome. I gotta get back down to.
Yeah, you gotta zoom it back down.
I'll just do that. Then we got some more gaming pieces from Joe.
Yeah, these aren't Old World, are they?
I think they are Old World.
When I first saw them, I was like, I don't remember the archers looking like that. So Joe, are these they look like Old World because they're on square bases.
I'm fairly positive. They're
I guess you're going for the Goblin green also. So look, he painted up the bases. See, Joe, it looks a lot better when you finish them out that way. So very cool. And this is a terrain piece.
Yeah, I did a bunch of these. Huh?
Is this one of the Age of
Sigmar? This is the realm gate for Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, Age of Sigmar gates. Yeah,
realm gate.
Very cool.
Yep. I painted a bunch of these for IO.
And now we're looking. This looks like what's his name? Kurt Russell. Is this like Escape from New York or something?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's for. That's me chasing my cat.
But do you have the claws?
I have them ordered.
They're coming. They're going to arrive shortly. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this range of models. Joe, enlighten us, please. Cyberpunk-ish.
Yeah.
Like, kind of digging it. Core Space. Okay. I'll have to look at Core Space. I hear a lot of people talking about it. I just don't know anything about it. Give me something to watch. What am I looking at? This looks like
I think this is something Tim posted.
Oh, this is a like a Morheim figure. It's an old fantasy figure.
Yeah, this is something Tim posted. I'm playing with my monitors here, so just bear with me.
Well, dude, we always bear with you. Very interesting. I've never heard of Core Space before. Yeah. And Tim went a little overboard with painting pirates.
Yeah.
I think he said he painted like 75 or something like that. So this is going to be a little bit of a pirate show. Now, I think if I'm not mistaken, these are a bunch of like Old Glory miniatures. Like they're older sculpts.
Nice tabletop quality stuff.
Yeah. That's a lot to get cranked out in a weekend, but when you're just sitting there for 10 hours a day, and Tim's a commission painter, so he's got his style down and just cranks them out. Look at them all. So many pirates. Now, and also, Tim wrote Legends of the High Seas, which is a pirates game, so he's very much into the pirate realm. Very cool. It's a lot of pirates.
A ton of pirates here.
Lots and lots of pirates. I think I didn't move my mic, so I'm moving my mic.
I'm saying that sound effect.
That sound effect is back. So, but we know what that problem is.
We know where that comes from. And then lastly are my Terminators. This was my prototype, my test one.
Right.
That I did just to get to kind of.
Hey, Greg's here. Yes, lots of pirates.
So many pirates. And then these are the other 4 that I finished up last weekend.
Which is just awesome. Very cool stuff. Love it. It's okay to have a tactical rock on the base. They don't all have to be standing on the base.
Yeah, that was I think one of the hardest parts about them is get those Terminators to fit on those Dragon Forge bases, because the bases aren't formed. Because Terminator is one of the few models that they actually make that have pretty much both feet firmly planted. So finding them where you can line the position of the legs and feet that will match on the base.
Yeah. Salty Sea Dogs to crew a galleon. Yes, that is enough models to crew a
Do
galleon.
you guys know that every one of these pirates has an earring? Do you know what it cost those pirates to get those earrings? A buccaneer.
A buccaneer. A dad joke. Gotta love it.
Bad dad joke. Horrible dad joke.
Terrible dad joke, but we love it. So very cool. Look at all this stuff.
Yeah. Here we are. They're back kids time. Yeah, that's what I got finished up last week.
Very cool.
And there they are in their glory.
Family short portrait.
Yep, just kind of standing around. Here we are. Let's go kill some stuff. The heraldry for the personal heraldry, these are all Wolfguard.
Right.
The design, I tried to not copy exactly what they showed as a sample, but it's a much different type of heraldry than I'm used to from normal Space Wolf stuff.
Right.
I'm trying to get a handle on it. I didn't do too bad. I mean, there's a couple that I'm not real happy with, but we'll get it sorted out.
I may steal the black helmet idea for Vet's Terminators. That's Greg is.
Yeah, that inspiration came from Dave Taylor in the aspect of, if you look at his, he did some Centurions, and he found these aftermarket heads that are just awesome, but they're kind of an offset color to the rest of the Terminator. And I just wanted, with the fact that the way the Wolf Spear do their light gray armor with the black backpack, I really liked how that kind of contrast goes. And Terminators don't have the backpack. So I thought, okay, how can I do this? And I went with ideas like, splitting them one half to gray, one half black. And then I saw Dave's, and what triggered it for me was looking at because the heads. Go to Build Paint Plays community site on Facebook and look up Dave Centurions. The faceplate is very unique, but it really offsets the model and looks really, really good. And that's when I went, I should just maybe focus on the helmet and see how that looks. And just doing the black helmet just kind of brought it all together for me, and with that route. So that's kind of the thing I want.
Well, it works.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. So, anyway, that squad got put down last week, and then now I'm focusing on my Incepta.
How many you got?
I only have 3 with the plasma exterminators.
And once you get the 3 done, though, you're kind of at the home stretch, because everything else is just like standard infantry models that you'll be able to crank out.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to do all the the markings and all that kind of stuff. You look on.
As a matter of fact, I didn't actually put this on stream. I'll actually throw it up here real quick if I actually have a picture.
What's that?
Where I'm going with it, prototype wise, it'll just be easier to show it that way versus trying to
explain it.
Yeah, or show it on my camera, which may or may not give me the look that I want. Bear with me, folks.
No, it's all right. Just looking.
What's Greg saying?
It looks real good on the gray and would make sense for the Revilers, since they are a Raven Guard successor.
Greg, did you post your Revilers? And I missed them this morning, didn't I? Greg posted his Revilers at my request. I'm very sorry, but I didn't show them this morning.
Didn't we show? Well, we showed them on stream, I think, over the weekend, didn't we?
Was it last weekend?
Yeah, I think
that might have been it. That was it. Yeah, we did during the big.
Yeah.
During our big show. Yeah, absolutely.
The big show where we celebrated Dawn.
The big shoot where we celebrated Dawn and praised.
Yeah. And Dawn didn't show up.
Be careful. Don will take that for so long, then he'll just go, screw you guys.
Yeah, Greg's confirming. We showed him last weekend. So still working on the draft. Oh, that's funny.
And now I'm going fuzzy. What's that all about?
You might be camera, because
your
microphone in the very top corner is showing in clear. That Whatever's up there, it goes.
Yeah, my camera, for some reason, likes the microphone. Like, oh, let me look at that for a while. What's going on there? When I switch back, it'll probably go back to being normal again. So, hang on, bear with me here for a second.
We're working with you, buddy. I'm just trying to find a color that I had that I misplaced, and nothing is worse than misplacing a color.
This is true. This is very, very true. Very true.
It's a beige red. So
to make this quick and simple,
go for it.
I keep all these on a file. These I'm just going to throw up straight from my downloads menu.
Ooh, I don't know if we want to see your download menu, sir.
Not that download menu.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little bit of the reason I want to show this. It's kind of a funny story.
Okay.
I was watching the live stream while I was painting yesterday, and someone kept referring to bumblebees in the Space Marine Army.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the heck are bumblebees? And then I found out just from listening to the conversation, watching the chat, and listening to the commentary, that's what they call inceptors. That's just the name they've given them.
Why?
Bumblebees. Well, I find it ironic because I found that out yesterday, and I painted these last week because they were on Tuesday's Build Paint Play show.
Okay.
And if you notice how I've done the jump packs
with the hazard marks.
Yeah, I did the hazard stripes on them. Wrong way. There we go. I did the hazard stripes on because that was a lot of empty space. I just want to make sure I put something there.
Right.
But I inadvertently kind of fed into what their nickname is in 40K, which is,
Well, and then you look at the little things coming out of the back of the jump pack that look like wings.
Yeah.
And now that makes more sense that now they just need to put a stinger on their butt.
Oh, stop that. That's the look I'm eventually going to go for. I'm going to go. I normally do black or blue weapon housings.
Right.
I'm going with a really dark red on these with green plasma effect. I think that looked really, really good.
Kind of Christmassy. Got a present for you.
Have some plasma to the face.
Plasma to the face. But those are you're only doing 3 of these, right?
Yeah, they come in squads of 3, and I wanted to take some. I took quite a diverse selection of stuff, and most of it's infantry.
Greg's saying they're called bumblebees from the movie, the Transformers movie, Bumblebee, and that's probably because of the little flaps and just the way everything looks. So, but
I inadvertently, maybe subconsciously, but I just like because of course 40K is all about safety, and so.
Hey, when you're shooting plasma pistols, it's all about safety.
I remember having conversations early on in my history of 40K. This is like for you youngsters, this was like back in the late 80s, where you'd see these beautifully painted models with a chain sword, and the chain sword has black and yellow caution stripes on it.
Right. And
I used to wonder, are those stripes for the enemy? Or the wheel, am I telling the guy that's attacking me that this has pointy parts? Be careful.
This is gonna hurt.
Or is the Iron Priest or the Tech Priest telling the Marine, be careful, you're wielding something that has pointy parts?
What you need to do is, it'd be hard to do, and I've seen that my years as a gunsmith. They used to stamp safety labels on guns. About pointing safety and stuff like that. You should write that on your don't point at face on the side of your guns.
So put a little arrow, point this direction.
Point in this direction, yes. Autobot insignia on their knee. I think people have done Transformer 40K stuff before.
I've seen Transformer stuff. I've seen some. I mean, everybody's done the Tau Gundam thing.
Yeah, the Hello Kitty stuff. I've seen Space Marines done in Hello Kitty.
The first one I ever saw was John Wolfe back in the day at Workshop. Did I can't remember his name now. The big purple dinosaur.
Barney.
He did an entire Lizardman army with Barney as the big, huge, gigantic toad thing.
So speaking of big giant dinosaurs, and my love,
are you going to talk about this other game that you say you want to paint, but you never seem to paint?
I got to watch a video yesterday that got posted by Play On Miniatures. I think it's called Play On or For Play On or something like I forget.
Right.
And the guy who was playing the Wadru, which is the orcs, you can call them Wadru, you can call them whatever GW calls them, they're orcs.
Right.
And he got to play with the Brontosaurus and the T-Rex and all the new dinos. He had nothing but a mounted army with raptors and Brontosaurus and the T-Rex, all this stuff. And I was just like, that is cool. That is like, it was so he did such a, it was all painted. I don't know if they paint or if the models are shipped to them painted or they have someone paint. I don't know how they get their models painted. I don't think they paint, because I think I watched one of their streams once before and they said they get them painted, like the company paints them. Parabellum paints them and ships them to them.
Right.
But anyways, so colorful. I'm just like, it's just like, me in color. I don't do color. Like a lot of orcs are green, so I don't add a lot of color to my green orcs because the green is such a dominant color. But when you add those Skittles rainbow to the army, it's just like, oh my God, orcs can have color because all the colors in the dinosaurs.
So the video ended, you jumped up from your desk, ran to your studio, grabbed a paint, grabbed your brush, grabbed the model, and just started painting.
No, I came back and started painting my commission work, which is all dark and drab. And my soul just left me.
I admire your dedication.
No, but I am excited to get
it sounds cool to me too.
There's a unit I need to go buy. I forget the name of the dinosaurs, the one with the big horns coming out and the big shield in the back.
Triceratops.
It's like Claritops. What'd you call it? Triceratops.
There we go.
That's it. I need to get that box set because I've got I just forgot that name.
And you use Rickling Flischshade.
Rickling Flischshade. I had a British accent.
I'm painting. Hurry up.
Anyways, that's all I got. I'm going to go to painting.
Go to painting.
So I'm looking forward to really getting that on the table.
Yes, Jeff's a little salty today because I still feel not great.
The good thing about that is Mike's used to you being salty.
Oh, I also hate the fact that I was late. I hate the fact that I was doing the pictures before we started. But I'm getting better. We're heading that way. I'm feeling better.
Dude, I am not one to complain.
All right, here we are with remember I was talking about the motorcycles? There's the Outrider bikes. See if I can zoom in without destroying the position of my camera.
There's no head. Is that Ghost Rider or something? There's no head.
I always.
Where's the head on that model?
Unlike most painters, I paint that separately because I enjoy painting heads. It's the most important part of the model. This is the accessory kit that comes from.
What was the accessory? Was it the whole panel, or was it just
the whole panel there? Then that attaches here. The matching panel on this side, but slightly different.
Okay.
And then you got the panel here, and then you got the back piece here.
So it's a pretty significant upgrade.
Yeah, it is, and it's a pretty significant upgrade. But there's 3 styles that come in the set. That because you get 3 bikes in the box, so they give you this one. Then there's this one that has.
Oh, I love that.
Not work. Some kind of a Old West cow head. And then of course it gives it an actual rear fender, which is kind of cool.
Well, now Joe needs to revive his Iron Warriors and make some new bikes.
And then this is the final one. Again, the shield with the knot work. Horns.
Horns in the back.
Yeah.
Did they change the bikes for orcs? Or did they get rid of bikes for orcs?
I have no idea, buddy. I know they didn't change it. I don't know. I know they have put out new models and all.
Yeah. I'm just kind of curious.
I'm working on this piece. You might recognize.
Is that Rohan?
This is Ewan with Mary.
What are we doing there? What's going on? We playing some
It's a commission piece.
You got my hopes up that you were playing Lord of the Rings.
I have played Lord of the Rings. I can play Lord of the Rings. I just don't have time to right now. But I love the game. It's a great game.
It's a good system.
I'm currently working on this guy.
It looks lovely, by the way.
She's almost done.
Looks lovely.
I like painting horses.
I love what GW did with that range of models because you can you should be able to pop Pippin off it or Mary off it. Or is that, am I mistaken on that particular model?
They give you a separate.
Is that what they give you a separate?
They give you Ewan and Mary.
Because in Lord of the Rings, that's one of the games where your horse can die.
Right.
And you get knocked off and you have to have a foot model to represent it.
Yep. Unlike 40K, if your bike goes down, you're done.
You're just dead. There is no.
All right, here on water. Okay, I'm seeing Dullahan Marines. I'm not sure what you're referencing, sir. So please enlighten me.
I think we're talking about the headless horse, the headless rider.
Yeah, but I don't know what the word. I don't know what he means by Dullahan.
He will enlighten us.
Word I am not familiar with because I am stupid.
No, you're not stupid.
My divorce papers. I think it says that. I think it's a bit.
Wow.
There's my Bumblebee backpacks, all ready to be edge highlighted and shaded.
And
Dullahan is a type of legendary creature in the Irish folklore. He is depicted as a headless rider on a black horse who carries his own head. There's a certain story about that called the Headless Horses. Cool. I have never heard that term. So thank you. I'm educated now. I know something now that I didn't know a moment ago. And that's a good thing.
Irish folklore. The best.
I like Irish folklore.
Also, there's a whole game system based on it called Vaesen.
When I'm looking for folklore, I prefer my folklore to be Irish.
It's drunk.
That could be part of it. Or maybe when I learned it, I was drunk. I don't drink anymore, so I can no longer learn Irish folklore. What do you guys out there working on? Anything exciting? You move your microphone back.
No, it's way over the side. Is it making that noise again?
I just heard it for a second. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh,
I try to mute my mic if I'm going to cough, guys. So I apologize in advance if I don't get that done. I don't like coughing in everyone's speaker system,
especially if someone has headphones on.
Greg, how are you doing, buddy? I inadvertently somehow called Greg and I actually spoke this week. Normally we text back and forth, but I was sick. I was medicated, and I went to check his text, and I thought I called him, and I hung up, and no, I must not have called him. And like 3 seconds later, the phone rings, and it's Greg. Now I must have really called you. So,
Greg working on his dreadnought. So much black.
Yes.
Which is always fun. Black is such a yeah. I'm just tired of painting black.
Yeah, I like black. Black is fun.
I'm just tired of painting it.
Joe's working on Core Space. That's cool.
Cool.
Bethany's working on her sisters.
Very cool.
Don has apparently mastered the painting process and is no longer participating. He's moved on to other things.
Don.
Sorry, Don. You just haven't showed up in a while, bud. And I've got all this built up, Don. One of the problems that I have in life is that when I like somebody, I have a tendency to pick on them, and most people don't understand that. And then they end up hating me for life.
I kind of picked up on that right away.
But yeah, because you're kind of the same way.
Well, I'm the youngest of 4, so that's how we showed our affection.
I'm the oldest of 3. Speaking of that, I need to go see my brother. I need to make a trip. Once again, guys, I'm dealing with my OCD. which is no wrinkles in the wet palette. I know it's a problem. I'm talking to my counselor.
It's only a problem if you make it a problem.
What she said was, Jeff, really? That's your problem? That's what you're worried about? Of all the stuff that goes on inside that head of yours, you're worried about the fact that you can't have wrinkles in your wet palette? I'm like, this is a starting point.
So Don is dating that he is having problems getting motivated to paint.
I wish there was a show on once a week
that would help motivate people to paint.
Sit down in the morning and maybe try to, just pick up a brush and see what happens.
Yeah, and you don't even have to subscribe to it or pay a streaming fee.
Well, and they're not the nicest guys, but they mean well.
Well, they try. We're
trying.
We're trying. They come in a little fuzzy now and again.
What does Huron say? In the anime series. See, Huron's mad that I made fun of your ability to speak English, so now he's putting up words I can't pronounce. There's a character called Kelty Sturluson, who is a Dullahan. She appears as a motorcycle rider who wears a yellow and blue cat-eared motorcycle helmet. Her horse disguises itself as her motorcycle. Ooh, I want one of those. How do I get one? Can I order it from like a resident?
Temu.
Don says, until recently, that show hasn't been painting. Oh, fine. Blame me. Thanks.
Just like my cat, it strikes back.
It strikes back. Don's a cat person. It's really weird though. He brings that up. One of the things, my dad has been deceased since I was 34. We won't count how long that would be from where I'm at now. But one of the things I do actually terribly miss about my father, even though growing up we did not have no dog person forever. Don is a dog. No, we're saying you're like a cat.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Not that you like cats. You're like a cat. Struck back. Bloodied my nose. Made me cry secretly on the inside where no one can see me.
Well,
because I'm a big, delicate flower.
You are. And I'm yellow snowflakes.
So anyway, I was talking about a touching thing.
Okay.
But anyway, what I miss most about my dad, and it might give you guys some insight into the psyche that is me. Whenever I would have something in my life that I needed to sort out, fix, I could always call my dad.
Yep.
And but the conversation, I go, hey, Dad, how you doing? And my dad was so used to me calling when I needed him to talk me off a ledge or give me some advice. He would go, what'd you mess up now, son?
Sounds like most dads.
And oddly enough, I miss that.
Well, every time you call me, if you want, I can relive that moment for you.
No, it's not the same.
I know it's not the same. I'm just offering a caring ear.
Welcome to Mike and Jeff's Psychological Help.
Yeah, well, hopefully
I can help you get through your trauma, make you realize that you're like a cat when maybe. Because if you think about it, there's proof of the fact that he freaked out when I called him a cat person, because most cats don't like other cats.
That is true.
So one more piece of evidence.
We got two cats that seem to just fight all day long.
So the result of this show today is going to be that either Don kind of goes, hey, man, that was kind of cool. I'm going to start painting again. Yeah. Or he's going to shut his computer off. Well, I'm never going on that show again because those guys are morons. I actually think both could apply.
They both do set well.
Bethany, are you working on your sister still? Continue. They look great.
Don's certainly, he's like, I'm certainly neurotic.
I think we all are, buddy. I think something the world has ingrained in all of us.
It's hard not to be anymore.
Greg discovered this week that I don't pick sarcasm up in text.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, I don't. No. Of course, he doesn't either, so I think we're even.
It is an art.
Tuesday night was a good show with Dave and Jake on Build Paint Play. That was kind of fun. We had I think it was our fifth Tale of Four Warlords show.
So that's wrapped up though pretty soon, right?
Well, we got one more show before we go to Adepticon, and then one show after Adepticon.
All right. You can get cosplay versions of the helmets, and time was you could get the actual functioning one from a small Russian company that makes all kinds of different types of motorcycle helmets.
Oh, sweet.
If you want a helmet, well, that's cool. I'm still looking forward to your experience at Adepticon.
I think it's going to be fun. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. I just want to maybe hopefully get a couple games in if I can. I think that's the plan.
It would be nice.
John Schaefer, who's one of the four of us, is building a Knights army, and he basically had pretty much most of his Knights, at least most of the paint work done, and they were just absolutely gorgeous. He just did a fantastic orange yellow, or it's a yellow with an orange fade on the edges. It's just beautiful. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So, I was highly impressed. John's always been a great painter.
Well, I think you guys are all doing a great job painting, personally, but that's just me.
I personally think I'm punching up.
What's that?
I think I'm punching up. I'm out of my weight class. These guys are.
Well, you know what? I'll be the first one to tell you, get uncomfortable.
Oh, I know.
And sometimes you got to punch up.
Yeah, I think I'm way out of my weight class.
I don't, but that's just
me. Jake and not Jake. John Schaefer and Dave. Dave is a machine. Dave is phenomenal.
Yes.
And I have admired his work forever. I think John is, even though I'm not as familiar with John's work until recently.
Right.
John's stuff is beautiful as well. And I haven't seen enough of Jake's yet because Jake is a last minute guy. He's going to wait until he's under some severe pressure.
I'm going to cram for that final, the night before the final.
Yeah, the only other time I saw him building an army, he was building an army for either I think it was for LVO or Gen Con. I can't remember which one it was. And he waited till the absolute last minute. He got it all done, but in my opinion, he would have been one. You guys have always heard me say that when I miss the days when you go to a tournament and you spend the evening before the tournament in your hotel room painting the last few miles you needed to get done.
Yep.
That's Jake, I think.
Keeping the tradition alive.
Jake, if you're watching, just jump on and yell at me. I have no problem with that at all.
The thing is,
stuff looks great. Stuff looks great when it's done. Not kicking the quality. He runs the store. He does have a lot going on. He has some kind of life outside the store as well. So I'm not criticizing his paintwork, but he's kind of the last minute guy.
If he was here, we would know.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that echo again.
I'm not sure where that's coming.
Well, who knows? It could be my mic still.
Well, it's probably been doing it for a while. Beforehand, we weren't painting, and one of the things that painting on camera does is we get it's a little quieter show, which most of our viewers probably enjoy. and then that's when we hear all these extra noises. There are some, you and I are both painting. We're trying to focus on what we're doing, and so there's little unscheduled bits of silence.
Unscheduled bits of silence.
Yes.
This is like the movies. Silence is golden.
Before I start my day of commission painting, I may put on a crock pot full of homemade beef stew.
Yum.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to just put on a crock pot, leave it there for
The day.
and switch on when you can.
Well, then your whole house just smells yummy.
Oh, I have to tell you, I have been still with all the stuff going on in my life and everything else. I am still struggling with my diet, but I have discovered having a respiratory infection and having a cold is really great.
For dieting?
You're trying to lose weight. I have for the first time in quite a while, I have hit 280 pounds.
Well, it's not the way you want to do it.
No, I'd rather do it a normal, but that puts me at 48 pounds I've lost since I started this thing. And if you want to, it's probably closer to 58 pounds because I did gain a ton back and then re-lost it. So I got a piece of loose plastic in here that when I was cleaning the model must have slipped in there unbeknownst to me. There you are.
What I've noticed is got to make breakfast for the family. See you guys next week. See you, Don. Thank you. You're going to join us next week. We will be prepared for you.
In all seriousness, Don, it's great seeing you again. Great having you. All right. We miss you, buddy.
We just love giving you a hard time, buddy.
I don't see him as often.
One thing I noticed with being on light duty and sitting behind a desk all day, that even though I'm still like trying to watch my diet and exercising a little bit, I'm still gaining weight because I am not, and this is something kind of unique to the industry, I'm not running from call to call to call and going from adrenaline moment to adrenaline moments.
Right. Yeah.
And I am just stationary. And I'm still kind of gaining some weight because I'm not living that kind of adrenaline-filled work cycle throughout the day.
Well, the thing I've kind of just gotten into a habit of doing with mine is I count my calories. I try to make sure my calories stay at a certain point. I try to walk every day when I can. Now, when you can't breathe,
it's hard to walk.
It's hard to go for a walk. But 48 pounds is nothing to sneeze at.
Nope. Something to be proud of.
My next goal was to just get back into the 270s. And when you consider when I arrived in Arizona back in April of 2015, I weighed 222 pounds.
Well, that was probably because you spent a lot of time in the hospital.
Yeah, well, when I got back here in 2019,
I forget.
It was 2019. I was at 334. When I started the diet, I was at 328, and back down to 280. I just keep going in that direction. Because one of the things I've noticed about counting calories every day, you get really good at it to the point that you start knowing what certain things are. I mean, I still use my reference guide and my app for a backup.
Right.
I've gotten pretty good at going, no, that's about this much. And I'll check the app and I'll go, yep, that's so I still use the app. I still use the calculator. I still use the scale. But it's taught me to kind of, learn my portions.
Yep.
So that if I am somewhere that I don't have access to the app or something wrong where I can't find the calories, I know enough about most foods I eat.
Well, one of the challenges that most people face is we've gotten so used to the portions that they bring out at restaurants and stuff that we think those are normal portions, and they're not.
No.
Restaurants want you to feel like you got a value for your purchase.
Right.
So the portions are just a little bit bigger than they probably should be because they want you to leave feeling satisfied.
Yeah, that's one of the things you learn when I was working for Workshop and we bring people over from the UK. They'd be amazed at the amount of the size of the portions.
Yeah.
Then, of course, when you being an American go to the UK, you're like, holy cow! They don't give you any food.
Yeah.
So
It's a very weird reality. All right, buddy. I think I'm at a stopping point.
Sorry, we didn't get a lot of paper. Sorry, I was late today, guys. I'm really apologize for that.
Well, the thing about us streaming is, first, we don't hide anything behind a paywall. Like, you don't have to. With that, we don't feel committed that we have to show up on time.
We do what we've always done. We do it because you and I enjoy it. We get together, we talk, and it's just kind of a way for you and I to kind of talk about what's going on in the hobby that we love and care about.
But yeah, I'll probably get this guy finished this weekend.
Sweet.
Since I can't paint my commission work on screen.
That's true. Luckily, right now my commission work isn't anything that I gotta hide.
Yeah,
I'll be switching to that after we log out. I go have some breakfast myself, I'll come back.
Well, me and Andy are gonna head out. I need to go get a new pair of shoes. Oh, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice to have you.
We'll probably talk for the next 15 minutes anyway, so you can hang us. But I need to go get a new pair of shoes for work, and I want to get some. At one time, I used to have to dress professionally for the office because I used to be involved in leadership and stuff. Well, over the years, I've thrown all those clothes away. Since I'm going to be on light duty again for another month, I'm like, well, I should probably get some other shirts because I'm wearing the same shirts every day. And it's not like I don't have like a uniform. I can't wear my uniform to work. One of the things about being on light duty is they pretty much strip you of your uniform simply because if I go out in public or if there's a situation that occurs and they see me in uniform, there's an expectation that I'm going to respond. Even though I'm animal control, we still respond to everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Situational wise, like there's an like we carry Narcan just in case we come up on someone that's overdosing. Like we're still having to do certain first responders duties, not as much, but there are certain things we're expected to do.
Right.
And if I'm in a uniform and I have a lifting restriction, well, if something happens, there's an expectation I'm going to respond, and I can't respond because doctors say no. So they strip you of your uniform. So I have to wear like polo clothes, like polo shirts and button-up shirts. And guess who doesn't own a bunch of polo shirts and button-up shirts? Like I have like a few in my collection simply because like when we go to trainings and things like that, it's business casual.
Right.
I'll wear those, but I don't go to many trainings. So I only have like a few. So I need to go buy some more shirts.
There's a whole psychological study on how crowds of humans react to someone in uniform.
Right.
How they've been over the years. That's just been kind of ground into us that's the guy
that's the guy in charge.
Yeah.
And people don't read what's on the badge. Like
they don't care if you have a badge. There was an actual study they found.
Yeah, just being in a uniform.
There was a guy that worked for a company that basically filled the milk vending machine when there was an accident at this plant that they had to evacuate the plant, and they all turned and looked at the guy in the milkman uniform. And so there's just a Pavlovian kind of response.
Yeah.
I get that. I understand.
Yeah. But just in general, like when you see us on, it's a black shirt and gray pants. Like it doesn't necessarily scream cop, but they still has a badge, and it still has a shoulder patch. It still has all the things that people recognize. And like most people are like you and I, we can't see. Like you can't read what it actually says from a distance.
Well,
so
I'm also not, the way things have gone for me over the past 10 years. Look, something exploded. Oh, that's cool. Kind of cool.
And it's like something exploded. I'll get on the internet and see what it says.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, just another day in paradise for us. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go out and do a little shopping, and then I'm gonna come back home and jump back on my commission work and really get that stuff cranking. And I want to try to, like I said, I've got a goal in mind to try to have this finished by the end of next week. We'll see.
Well, if you want some company when you come back to work on commissions, holler at me. We don't have to go online. We can jump on StreamYard if you want, and we can or commission work together.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what time we'll come back.
I'll be here all day.
Okay. Now, an odd thing. So I didn't want to jinx it, and I didn't want to say anything, and I wanted to keep it quiet. But when I restarted, jumped out of StreamYard, jumped back in, not a problem.
I haven't had a problem yet. I know that, like I said, it's got to be something simple. And probably on all probability, it's probably your bandwidth.
It could be,
and that could be where your problem with your modem.
And it could be like one of those things because I turn my computer off every night. I don't leave my computer on because I'm afraid the government's spying on me. I don't want them to know. I'm a conspiracy theory. I got my aluminum hat. I just don't wear it on the show.
And I appreciate that. The glare coming from your halo.
But anyways, it could be a whole startup menu thing. It could be a lot of things. So we will figure it all out. But it's just interesting. Came on, started it back up, and not a problem. So interesting. All right, everybody. Well, we're going to get out of here. We will be back again next weekend to hang out with you all and paint and do all that fun stuff. You are the government. I know. I spy on myself. That is the ironic part of it all, is I watch myself. And I have long conversations with myself, too, because,
I didn't like where that was going. When you said, I watch myself, I'm like, oh, this is going to go bad. We're going to Facebook jail.
Oh, no. We're
government. I like it. I'm going to use that
government. Anyways, all right. We're out of here. We'll be back next weekend. Get some stuff painted. Have a good weekend. Arizona's getting ready to embrace summer, so yay.
You mean fry summer?
Fry summer. At the rate we are growing and the amount of concrete we are pouring on the surface of Arizona, we're just making an oven. We're just box it all in, people. Just box it in.
I always go back to Sam Kenneth's line. See this? It's a desert.
You shouldn't live here. All right, before we get thrown out, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.